plus minus interesting. Now, because of the difficulty of self-assessment, the fact that because of the Dunning-Kruger effect, we can't rely on these, some people have actually said we shouldn't worry about self-assessments at all. And I think that's a mistake, because we need our students to get better at this. And one of the techniques that I think is very valuable is a very simple technique, which we just call plus minus interesting. So at the end of the piece of work, students just look at the work and they identify something they found easy, something they found difficult, and something they found interesting about the work they've just completed. There are basically two ways of doing this. You can use post-it notes. Students can then write their comments on the post-it notes and then paste them up on different parts of the chalkboard. But I quite like flip charts, because then a child can write their comment on the flip chart. So you have three separate flip charts, one for plus, one for minus, one for interesting. And students can read what other students have written and reflect on those as they make their own contributions. And here's what's important. Even when those self-assessments aren't perfectly accurate, teachers tell us that as a result of this process, their students become clearer and sharper in asking for help. One third grade teacher in New Jersey told me about a student who said, "I don't understand what you carry when both of the numbers are 0. Now that's a very insightful comment, and it tells the teacher exactly what it is the student was struggling with. Students are often saying things like, "I don't get it." And the teacher says, "What don't you get?" "I don't get any of it," which is usually not very helpful. And teachers say to us things like, they used to say things like, "I can't do quadratics." And the teacher says, "What can't you do about quadratics?" And the student says, "I can't do any of it." And one teacher said to me, they now say things like, "I can't do quadratics when there's a minus in front of the x squared." So even if the self-assessments weren't perfectly accurate, which they may not be because of the Dunning-Kruger effect, it does mean that the students ask for help in clearer and sharper ways, which saves the teacher a huge amount of time.